Oh, perfect.
BrandonBreaksDown.com. Get your set of wipies at BrandonBreaksDown.com or BrandonBreaksItDown.com.
All right, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Where did we meet? Where did we meet? I don't even know where I met you.
GrowthCon.
Oh yeah, and I'm there. 34,000 people in the room. I got to tell you, I got to give you and Natalie just super accolades because here I am. I have this freaking massive event to handle.
Yeah.
And I look out, and the first two, you guys just like pop out like stars and beacons.
It's like, what's going on there? Type stars and beacons.
No, just amazing. Like, wow, those people, like you really stood out. So,
Yeah, I appreciate that. We were trying to blend in.
And I think you said something to me. No, you weren't. Don't start an interview with a lie. BrandonStandsOut.com. Always.
That's right.
So I think you said something to me. If not, I had a dream and thought this, that you knew in a stadium where to sit, like the power seats.
No, because I speak a lot, so I know exactly where.
Never the front row.
Never.
It's like the third, fourth row.
Yeah, and it's got to be, and when I looked at the placement, it was out a little bit, so I knew it'd be extending into that open area.
Yeah.
Look, think of the intentionality. I didn't call him beg for price.
Already a big word, by the way.
I didn't call him beg your team.
BrandonBringsBigWords.com.
The complexity of a simple guy is an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
The
That's what makes it all
simplicity.
work. The simplicity.
Yeah. Of a what?
No, the complexity of a simple guy.
No, that's me.
That's perfect. Well, that's how you create so much momentum, making it easy.
Yeah.
So think about the intentionality, though. I go online, I buy the tickets, I show up, I sit in the right place, and we just chill.
Yeah.
And we absorb what's happening around us, and then connect. And here we are.
Here we are. I mean, we've done a couple things together now. We did Cabo together.
Yeah.
I mean, we did Miami.
I think I've seen you more than my parents
Yeah.
in the last
That's
3
awesome.
months or
That's
2
awesome.
months. It's been an amazing journey, just finding your book. You know, I was at kind of a dark spot.
It won't take long. The real ones are coming.
No, I was at a place where I should have been at the peak of my career, right? I literally, when she introduced me to the 10X,
I doubt you even read the whole book.
I read
You're a
it.
scanner.
No, I actually, so this is an interesting thing, and we'll go back to how you've figured out how to do it because I think it's important. But when you're at a place where you're out of alignment, you don't quite know like what's going on in your life. I listened, I put that book on and I worked out every single day and I listened to it for a good month on the airplane, working out, and I got the rhythm. And once I got the rhythm, I was able to reset the stuff, the garbage I was thinking about, and I was able to focus on the few very specific things like massive expansion and getting focused and not letting anybody detract you. And
How did she get you to? How did she introduce you to the?
she was
like,
following
dude,
Elena.
like,
She's
okay.
like, there's this hot chick with a reasonably average good-looking guy, and it makes me think of our relationship. And I said,
He's older.
He's older. He's all right, attractive.
Yeah.
He's got stuff rolling.
Yeah.
Got stuff going. And I think at my peak, there's some similarities to the speed in which you do things, and I think she's seen me at that place, and I was off that place. I was more complacent, letting other things go, and trying to figure out.
What, you just had a score or something?
Huge score, a huge score, and I never had a moment of a lack of confidence, nor did I not believe I couldn't go create whatever I put my focus on, right? And everyone always said, you can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. And I did it and did it and did it. And I realized a good buddy of mine, Hector Lamarck, I don't know if
Yeah, I know Hector. Yeah.
Hector and I were playing golf one day after my first business was sold, and I was lamenting and I was being a little bit of a drainer.
Lamenting?
Yeah, I was reflecting.
Okay.
And I was being a little bit of a drainer. And Hector said, dude, if you don't stop this, like, I'm not playing golf with you anymore. And we played every day for years together. And I said, stop what? And he says, you keep talking about the past.
Yeah.
Like, it's over. What'd you learn from it? What are you doing right now? Move forward and only learn from it. But the future is made up of every little decision you make right now. So where are you going to be in the future? Stop talking about the past. And that reframed my
Were you
thinking.
talking about things that had happened bad?
Yeah, I was being a victimized. Because
good things.
the private equity guys came in right when I figured out my company after 7 years of grinding, and I was just getting ready to take off, and they're like, dude, we're liquidating your fund. And I said, well, what's that mean to me? I was naive. And they said, it means you got to sell your company. And I'm like, I don't want to sell my company. They said, well, everybody says that, so we're selling your company. And they sold it.
Are you lamenting right now?
You're bringing up the pain of the past, but it's the power that it gave me to do what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. So the question I have for you is this, like this, getting into how I found my way here and found you, but the question I have for you is, what was the catalyst? What was the thing? Because I think that when I'm talking to people, this is what was the thing where you realized, or the moment where you said, hey, I can self-create? What was that epiphany?
God, man, there's been so many points in my life, like I wrote down, like because I'm interested in what happens to other people, and then when you say I said, hey, did you start lamenting or reflecting after the score? And because for me, the scores have been like a place where I didn't think it was really a great score, but everybody around me started telling me, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then the next thing you know, I'm playing golf 3 times a week.
Yep.
And I mean, while I love the game of golf, I can only help so many people there.
Yeah.
I just can't help enough people there. So the creative thing has happened like all along the way, but particularly though, since the crash. Since that moment where I was like, oh, I've been really irresponsible to my family, even though I had done more than anybody in my
sphere of influence, or
well, even any of my lineage, like anybody with my last name, I had already accomplished more than most of at least anybody that I know that's in my tree, and so. A lot of people around me are, oh my God, you're doing good. When are you going to rest? When are you going to take it easy? Why don't you kick back? If I had all that, I did that. And I started buying into this. And then when the crash happened, you don't, as you know, you don't build a business and say, oh, the economy is going to get cut in half. The industry that you rely on is going to get, crushed. Basically, I was a little one-man shop that was making, a lot of money, figured out how to make some money. And you wouldn't have known me 15 years ago. You'd be like, that's not a business.
Or what's that? Because of the
You'd
business
been like,
in,
well, because it wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
You would have looked at me and said, that's ridiculous what he's doing with that much talent.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of people out there too that have a tremendous amount of talent that they're either I was in the wrong vehicle. Like when I got out of college, I just went into the wrong vehicle. I took what I got. And I didn't have anybody directing me about a bigger vehicle. It's like the thing I said yesterday. You kept saying, hey, I got this and I got that.
Yeah.
Hey, what can we talk about?
Let's talk about the big.
Let's talk about something
next.
Yeah. And maybe that's what Hector was saying too,
yep.
Right? What's next? What's the future? How can I create it? So today I know simply all I need to do today is change the question I'm asking myself. Secco does this with me all the time. Like, dude, we got to get $1 billion worth of real estate. Like, and I'm like, that's about, do you know how long that's going to take? He's like, but what can we do? So if I can just shift that question a little bit, just look like literally around the corner. I can't see anything, but if I could just look, just to get a snippet, and then I'll be like, oh, wow, that's what's over there. And so now if I'm willing to be responsible, not blame anybody or anything, take a good look and then ask the right question, I think that, I can come up with some kind of solution to creating a product, writing a book.
So when you, in that 2008 time period,
Yeah.
do you think the catalyst was not just realizing you're not playing big enough, but a little fear settled?
Dude, I was, I think more than fear, I was ashamed.
Ashamed?
I was ashamed that I had I had a buddy of mine, Doug Doring, he founded a company called ABC Mouse. ABC Mouse is going to be worth, I think they'll end up being in 180 countries. Huh. It's a learning software for kids. I mean, literally, he's giving it to governments and stuff. Like it's going to be in millions, hundreds of millions of homes. He came to me and said, hey, I need a little help he had this project going on, couldn't get money out of the deal, blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting on like $7 million at the time and wouldn't help him. I'm like, Doug, I can't do it. I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, bro. I knew then that I was going to regret it. I regretted it the next day. I regretted it the next month. I'm looking back 10 years now. Every time I talk to Doug, I talk to him today. Every time I'm like, damn, dude, I turned down a good guy. A guy that will always pay you back no matter what. A guy that if you were ever going to help, he's the guy you want to. And I was too scared. Not because of the economy crashing, but because of everything I didn't produce before that.
Yeah.
You know, so like being in one industry from the age of 25 to 45, I was in one industry. I refused to go to these other industries because I was selfish. It was easy for me to call on this one sector.
Yeah.
I couldn't call on the audiologists. I was worried they couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
I couldn't call on the chiropractors, right? I was worried they wouldn't make the adjustment.
Yeah.
I couldn't call on the dentists, right? Because I didn't know their language. I didn't know what to say to them. But it was stupid because all businesses have the same problem as you do.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was helping this very complex, very dinosauric, probably not a real word.
It is now.
Industry that was, old, stodgy, margins were compressed, customer service was a problem, very competitive. That's every business. Like if I labeled those things
Yep.
and said, what industry am I talking about? You're like, waste management, furniture. I mean, we just go down the list. You could pick every industry. I was just so comfortable in that space and hated the space because, when you confine yourself to calling on one audience, you will end up hating that audience.
Yep.
To the degree that you're dependent upon that audience for your fees, your margins, etc. And had I scaled, 2010 forced me to scale.
Yep.
And that's where I'm like, I can never do this to my family again. I should have been calling on the dentist and the chiropractor. I should have moved through whatever fear I had. Fear is just an excuse for me to say I was lazy, dude.
Yeah.
Because if you're not lazy, if you're highly stimulated, and properly motivated through the right kind of fear won't shut you down. Fear would actually push you.
And that's the thing you were talking about the other day is people having the choice of picking that catalyst or just making the choice instead of being comfortable.
Yeah.
Most people wait until there's some kind of huge event that scares them enough that they then spring into expansion in their mind and then they do more, right?
Yeah.
But you can choose that.
You could fabricate it. You could like today what I do is I just play little games with myself, right? So I fabricate things that may never happen to me. One of the things that I do with the cash, right? Like all my cash gets pushed off here. There's things I won't invest in just because I'm probably too lazy, to investigate cryptocurrency or at this point AI. So what I do is I just keep investigating the thing. I just keep reinforcing what I know, So I create a little game with myself where I create a cash account, I dump a bunch of money into it, then I terrify myself about the cash account. I'm like, this is rotten.
Yeah.
You are what's the guy's name? The drug lord. He couldn't hide. He couldn't keep it all. You can't keep it all.
Yeah.
The bugs are going to get it, and whatever, right? So I literally create my own little horror Friday the 13th moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where can this money go so I don't lose it again? And then that's why it all goes into the real estate. And I'm like, okay, I'd rather not have a return there and know when I return there, it will be there.
Yep.
And maybe even have a baby or two.
Yeah, exactly. It's your safe spot.
Yeah, so I just mock up situations like for 10 years now, I've been mocking up another recession. I'm like, okay, if this happens to me again, I'm actually on much more hyper alert right now saying, okay, we're going to go into a recession right now. We actually reinforced that at the growth conference by taking our $10,000 product and making it $59 and $99. So that is actually a recession. I said, Jared, I don't want to wait till it hits. Let's do it right now.
Yep, preemptively.
Okay, because people can't, the amount of content sitting in that platform, no one can compete with me at $99. And there could be a time where I take it down to $1. I'm going to go to Guatemala and do it for 99 cents.
But that's also your give back to other people too, right?
Yeah. It is a give back, but let's not confuse ourselves. With I know there's a lot of holier people than I am. Yeah. Very few give as much money as I do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of extremely philanthropic, charitable. Yes, I do this all for the give. Really? Well, where's the give?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm much more under the like, I'm going to go expand my business, get a bunch of money, and then I'm going to give the money away, as opposed to just a service away.
Yeah.
And my charitable donations are limited to my ability to just simply go into the marketplace and collect money and then donate. Because other charity groups, as you know, they need money, man. They need me to show up.
I get people that ask me all the time about it, and I say, go build a business that will self-fund your charity, and then people will give more to you.
Yeah.
But if you're always reliant on everybody else, you're going to get less over time, and then when you're no longer there, or they lose interest in your passion, or find something else, then you built up this charity, and now all of a sudden it goes away.
Yeah. And people need, like charities need a couple things. One, they need money. But more importantly than that, they need volunteers and all that. That's great. But what they really need is they need attention. And they also need people that are enthusiastic about it, that are giving. Like me saying I gave $1 million to this, like gets the attention of somebody that can also write $1 million check or 10 million or 100 million.
That's right.
So I've raised a lot of money for charity because I was willing. I'm like, how much you giving, Grant?
Yeah.
Because the big guys are always going to ask that.
That's right.
How much you got invested?
That's right.
I don't know what that has to do with any of this, but being charitable is a really, like you.
I think what it has to do with this is that I think people see you, like I saw you 6 months ago when I didn't know you. I saw you through your work. I started watching you on the internet. I started watching Instagram. I started going to Facebook. I started seeing the stuff you're doing. You like do those big words out there?
Yeah.
YouTube, and I was trying to understand you.
Yeah.
And I think
I do a terrible job of communicating who I really am. Like even with the charitable thing, right? I'm so transparent. Like when you say, oh, you know, you're charitable, I'm like, yeah, but you know, I'm trying to get it for myself too. So I shouldn't say that. Like if I was a smart person, I'd be like, oh yeah, man, that's the most important thing.
No, but I think this is the difference between you. Like what attracted me ultimately to you is you say what you think, you do what you say. So it's real simple. You're going to say, look, I'm going to give money away, but I'm also going to make money. And you're not afraid to do it at your events. Look, don't come here thinking, this is the brilliance that I saw the first day of GrowthCon. Look, if you're going to get up and give value to people, don't be too embarrassed to actually charge them something so they can take the value away from just coming here, listening, and then leaving and hoping they took some notes.
Yeah.
Like it was a forced deal.
Well, I just know for me, my attention follows my money. So where I make investments, you know, I went to college. I borrowed money to go to college. I didn't pay attention to college. It wasn't my money. That's the problem with the whole free college thing and getting free loans and like I'm not paying attention, man.
Yeah.
So you know, you throw $100 million out there in the middle of the street out there, and make an announcement. You're going to see some people. You're going to see crippled people flying. You know, you're going to see people are not going to care about car wrecks anymore. I mean, you're going to see people perform freaking feats.
Yeah.
Like running for that thing. Now, it might turn out poorly, but the point is there is a point of reward where you're like, I am willing to experience. You're going to see the introvert extrovert. You're going to see the extrovert turn into like, you know, all the Marvel characters.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that moment, the moment of reward, whatever the reward is, because money can't be the reward, but it could be whatever the money can be exchanged for. And it might not be for the NFL ball player that's never had anything. It might be, look, I just want to buy my mom a house.
Yeah.
We all know those stories of people. I remember my mom, just to, you know, throw more dirty water on me. My mom used to say, my mom was my best friend in the whole world. Okay, I can't ever imagine having a better friend than my mom. GrantBreaksdown.com.
Yeah, we're gonna get in there.
So I mean,
we're gonna talk about your
dude,
mom.
she was my partner, right?
Yeah.
So she's not with us anymore, but she would make this joke. She never really meant it. She's like, "When are you gonna buy me a house?" You know?
Yeah.
LeBron bought his mom one, or so. I said, you know, most of those ball players end up broke.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with it? I said, probably because they bought the mama house. But you know, I would have done anything for my mom, but I'd never bought her a house, and she wouldn't have taken it anyway. But you know what? I think people just need to look at, rather than saying, I don't like money, I don't need money, I don't need to listen to these rich guys talk about money. You came from nothing.
Yeah.
You still got the stains from the walnuts.
Walnuts.
Yeah. Okay, and you know, I came from a middle class family. I had everything. I had everything I needed: air conditioned, heater, food, love. Nobody abused me. There was no Neverland experiences. Nothing bad happened, you know. And then I ruined that. I went from middle class to poverty.
Yeah.
I went from having comfort. The comfort, I think, was as debilitating. You would know that word.
Yeah.
Was as debilitating to me as poverty would be for some people. Because I thought, oh, dude, everybody's entitled to air conditioning and heater, and I just took it all for granted. Education and cars, and by the time I was 15 or 16 years old, I was like, I want more. Which I was right on that, but not to the point of not being grateful for what I did have.
If your mom were alive today, what would she say?
Well, she would say the same thing that she said for, like,
when are you going to get me a house?
yeah. No, for, what am I? Yeah, I guess my mom, for 30 years, my mom kept saying the same thing. Oh, you're doing so good. After I turned my life around.
Yeah.
So from 15, she's like, oh, what's happening to him? to 25, she's like, oh my God, this is, like, I was just nothing but terror for my mother.
Yeah.
And the kind of terror only a mother would know. I'm going to lose my son.
Yep.
This will be the second son she lost. She's like, he's going to get killed. I'm going to get the phone call. Like, by the time I was 21, 22, for sure she knew she was going to get the phone call.
Yeah.
He's killed. And when I went to treatment and came home, you could tell everybody around you was like, I'm going to change this time. This is the one. This is the one. This is it. Right? And everybody's like, yeah, sure. Like, I couldn't pitch anything to my family for 5 or 6 or 7 years. I've never said this before, but probably till 33, maybe even 35, the first 10 years out of a treatment center, nobody in my family believed me.
Yeah.
About anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this great deal. I was selling cars at 27. I got this great deal. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
waiting for you to ask for money or something.
Well, yeah, I was always asking for money.
So they're waiting.
You know,
everything's going
I
great.
tell my brother about this network marketing thing I'm doing at 31 years old. I'm like, you got to get into it. He's like, yeah, sure, dude. Like, nobody believed anything.
Yeah.
Particularly those closest to me, because my pool of influence had been negatively impacted, right? Because of my history. It took a lot of years. So by the time I guess I was 38, I had bought a house on the ocean in La Jolla. That was like one of my big, like, bang.
How good did that feel?
I'm like, hey, fuck you. How about that? Okay. I mean, how about that? What y'all think about that? Now, I was even impressed.
Was that 11X?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. And I was, for the first time in my life, that was probably the first thing I had done in my life that impressed me. And when my mom came to visit to see the house, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this. Like, this house was spectacular. On the ocean, on the rocks, big waves breaking. I mean, big surf break in front. It was like exotic, unbelievable. The house wasn't that great, but the location was stupid. And I'm saying that because it was like the first time I did something, and yet my mom still said, just remember, son, this is the first time it really hit me that I would then hear this for 20 more years. I love you just the way you are. Wow. I had this massive score. All I wanted was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Golly. But what she added to it, which so many parents do, just remember, that doesn't define you. I love you just the way you are. And I'm like, no, that kind of does define me.
Yeah. This
purchase was massive. The bank gave me a $3 million loan and said, we want to give you the whole $3 million. We don't even want $3,000 from you. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of trust. This was the first time somebody trusted me that much.
That's why it was important right there.
Yeah, the bank trusted me. Yep. Okay, like everything had come together, and this was only a few years after I had recovered from my drug addiction.
Yep.
And I'd put together, I guess, 3,600 days of not using drugs for the first 3,000 days of my life. In the last, I guess that would have been 20 years, half of it was the first half of my recovery. And I had put together a business, 10 years of saving money, 10 years of expanding the business, 10 years of not doing stupid stuff, 10 years of not being in clubs and not, breaking down and messing up, no car wrecks, a few speeding tickets, and then this bank said, yeah, we'll give you the loan, dude. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God. I think the note was like 18 grand a month. And I was like, how am I going to make this payment? It was so easy. So, I would just tell everybody, look, you're underestimating your potential. You can't do anything if you're in doubt, and the drugs put me in doubt. All these questions this weekend about the weed, what about weed? I'm like, dude, whatever, smoke as much weed as you want, unless it puts you in doubt. In the moment, it puts you in doubt.
Yeah.
At the moment you have any question about it, then for me, I don't want to be in doubt. And so the more aware I can become, like that story you tell about the walnuts, dude, that story, that story changed my life, hearing that one story.
Really?
Does your whole audience know that story?
I talk about it when I'm at events and stuff. I shot a video on it the other day, but I think I knew how important the story was for me. Yeah. And I've used it at times, but I didn't really.
No, the story's so powerful, bro, because it simply tells the story. You should write a little book. It should be the parable about the walnut story, right? Because so many people got help. Oh yeah, I'm giving it to you now. Yeah. Okay, so many. BrandonBreaksDown.com, Walnut Story.
/ Walnut Story.
Yeah. / scale to charity. / So, the Walnut Story said to me, like, oh, dude, that's what scaling is. Somebody else came and did it, and all these people contributed, and everybody benefited. Yep. And you had more time.
Yep. And we made more money.
Yeah. Everybody won.
Yep. But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Just like your mom saying, I like you the way you are, I love you the way you are.
Yeah.
My parents were mad at me, and they never actually got that. I got that at 15. I sat back and went, you're mad at me, but I made more money. I had everybody do the work for me. The orchard actually looks better because it was picked so clean, and then I had everybody clean up. The place looked like a gold mine, right? And we did it and it changed their belief about each year. We raised our prices every year. We ran this thing, and it was a benefit of the whole family. But at the time, I had done something wrong because I didn't do what I was expected to do.
Well, and you didn't do what they had been making sense of.
That's right.
I think you mentioned this about being right. People's need to be right? I'm using a calculation, and you give me the chopsticks, and I'm like, dude, come on. I made the chopsticks wrong for the first, 6 times I went into it. The first 6 times I went into a Japanese place, I'm like, nah, And my brother, I'd go back to the fork because I knew the fork. The fork was right for me, right? And he's finally said, dude, you're never going to learn the chopsticks if you're toying with the fork. So your dad probably just, he has to hit his own stupidity. I don't know why we don't all just admit that we are about something. He had to bank up against his own. 15-year-old kid showed him how stupid he'd been his whole life. Dadgetspissed.com.
Actually,
Brandon's dad's gets pissed.com.
I have the most remarkable dad. We just put my mom in memory care.
Yeah.
And he just moved into my guest house. It really struck a chord when you were talking on stage about the ability to take care of somebody or your family. Don't do it for yourself. Be prepared. You never know who you're going to have to take care of.
Right.
And it's a pleasure to get to be in that place.
Yeah.
Or that role. A lot of people don't put themselves in a position to be in that role to help the person that they love the most. You're not going to get me there either.
He's going there right now.
I didn't tear up nearly as much as you have. I just want to make sure that Grant Cardone, crybaby.com has been purchased already. All right, let's switch gears just for a second. So you and I decided to do this little venture deal.
Yeah.
What is, from your perspective, what do you think the opportunity is?
Well, I'd like to drop the word little out of there.
What's that?
I'd like to drop the word little out of there.
I love the way you think.
Okay. So, nobody likes little.
Nobody likes little.
Okay, nobody likes little.
And everybody listening should hear how simple your mind thinks right now.
Yes.
That's right.
So, I am a simple man. Have you ever met anybody more simple than me?
I think there's some complication behind this simplicity.
Do you?
I do.
No, it's simple. Dude. It's so simple, it's complicated. I think most simplicities look complicated to people there because the individual is complicated. It's not. I read this book once and I said, dude, I'm having a lot of trouble with this book. He's like, the book's simple. The book's simple. Okay, you are trying to read the book through your complications.
Yep.
Like the book has new material in it. If you've ever seen somebody highlight in a book, you ever see them doing this? Oh my God. Oh shit. You're a highlight guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Most people only highlight what they agree with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one. Dude, you ought to go back and read that book with all the unhighlighted stuff because that's the stuff you're like might not be understanding, right? And then when a guy told me that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to read this book through the lens of what I know already.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do that, you're dealing with these complexities, right? Like I'm dealing with like all this data. There's the data, not here. And I'm reading something to try to learn something, but you understand? I
know exactly what. That's why the first thing I said to you is, do you want to add a couple billions?
Yeah.
I didn't say 100 millions or 10 millions.
Yeah, no, but then you opened today with little. So I mean, I don't know what happened to you between then and now.
That was a teaser.
I like the old Brandon better.
Massive domination for the independent business guy that nobody else is taking care of.
I love that. But you know what I also love as we kid around about this is having somebody that I can joke around with, and be on the same wavelength and because I know you'll never use little again.
Yeah.
You'll be like, dude, that's out of my vocabulary right now. Right? And I love being around somebody like that. Networks are so important. That's why when I saw you guys at the Growth Conference, I'm like, I want to get to know those guys. You guys also showed up for my real estate thing.
That's right.
And
just as a plug, I own a lot of real estate, and that was
no, I own a lot of real estate. You own a little real estate.
Yeah, there's the word little. So that's true. Little compared to you, right?
Yeah, and I own a little bit compared to
the next guy.
Yeah.
But the point here is that I went in there with this set of see what I can learn here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
This is after the 3 days, right?
Yeah. After 3 days, I was blown away.
Okay.
So the Growth Con was remarkable. That's the only way I could describe it. Then going into the real estate course, I was like, all right, now it's a smaller, intimate group. I want to hear directly how you talk about this. And after like the first 20% of the first day, I was like, oh, I'm such a moron. I was sitting here thinking I'm an idiot.
Were you really?
Yeah, because there were some calculations you did where I had been doing, it was a cash-on-cash return. I love saying, I got a 65% cash-on-cash return, but I'm not calculating it based
off the equity.
Off the equity.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really have a 4.2% cash-on-cash return if I did it off the equity.
Yeah.
And I nudged her, and I'm like, oh, man. It's the simple things that cost you money.
Yeah. And like if I consider myself to be a really, really honest person. Yeah. And there's some things like if somebody said, hey, who's Grant Cardone? Dude, I'm so honest, it's unbelievable. But most people do not want to hear the honesty. So, and what that has to do with is like when I was going through school, math was always my deal. Like I love math. Something about it is just intriguing to me. So I remember this math class. I don't exactly remember. Maybe it was algebra. But there's this calculation where 4 out of 5 equals 80%. Okay? Let me see how this goes, okay? That's 80%, right? 4 out of 5 is 80, right? And what's the calculation here? 1 out of 5, the rest would be 20%. I got to figure out what this calculation was, but there's a couple ways to work that thing where actually the 80%, the 1 out of the 4 that's missing out of the 5 is actually 75%. So I started doing this weird Cajun math. And I'm like, shit, dude, I can manipulate numbers here.
Yeah.
And the moment you think numbers aren't just numbers and you can start playing with them, you open this gateway. Like those 2 days, that 2-day master class I did with you guys, nobody knows this, but like I came home after the 2 days and Elena was like, how was that? I said, dude, I was in the Matrix for 2 days.
Yeah.
Like I have never in my entire career, 3,000 presentations, or I don't even know how many I've done. I was in, no, but this is of no value to anyone listening. I was in some exteriorization of numbers and formulas that I know because somewhere 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 years old, wherever I did some of that math class, I started saying, I dig numbers. Everybody was like, I hate numbers.
Yep.
I'm like, I dig numbers. Which is probably because I knew my dad liked numbers. My dad liked money, he liked numbers. He never talked about it.
Yeah.
But a person doesn't really need to talk about the things that they're doing. You can feel it emanating what's important.
See it and feel it.
Yeah. So this venture thing, this big venture thing.
Huge.
Massive. This idea that, that you and I would actually invest in companies that are out of money, can't fund their inventories, don't know where to get their customers for, can't figure out their marketing, can't scale their CFO, their VP. Same stuff that I went through.
Yep.
That we could either provide them with some transactional,
Yeah.
okay, some data that would help them, that we could transact with people and give them a service that they would pay us for our time, and or that we could, influence their company and transform them. It's powerful, dude.
It is powerful.
Like because now for me the most important thing about that is it's kind of the next class for me for my client. I forget the money. We could make, you and I could become billionaires off this venture.
Yep.
But we could make a lot of
could.
people super rich.
We could,
We could.
or we can, or
We can't.
will,
We can.
or we will,
We may and we might.
or we will.
We could. It's yet to be determined.
Yeah.
So we got to go do it.
That's right.
And that's when I say, hey, good job, Grant. And my mom will be like, I love you just the way you are, son. She would still be saying that today. I could call her right now and say, hey, mom, what's up out there? Who are you seeing up there,
Yeah.
And what'd you do today, Grant? I did $1 billion deal. Okay, and she's like, yeah, I love you just the way you are.
Just the way you are.
So anyway, back to this thing. It's like this is the next thing for a customer for me, because basically my customer ends with possibly investing money with me in real estate. By the way, do you know about the phone call we got today?
No.
Oh my God, I'll tell you in a second. So, guy calls up. You know about the call yesterday?
Yeah. The deal?
The president of Mexico.
Oh, go ahead.
You know about that call?
I know about it, but you.
Okay. The president of Mexico called. I'm on the phone with the president of Mexico yesterday. Crazy, dude. Because look, if all you're doing is talking about, if I was still selling cars right now, I would not be talking to the president of Mexico.
That's right.
Like you guys that are in car sales, you're like, hey, should I stay in car sales? No, you shouldn't. Not even if you're in cars, not even if you own the place. The people that own car dealerships don't stay in them, right? Penske is in car racing. He's in rentals, right? He's
car dealerships.
He's in real estate. He's in mega deals. He's on Wall Street now. So no one should think about staying where they are. The plumber should not stay a plumber, right? And the plumber, if you could learn how to franchise plumbing, then you could franchise contractors and roofers and glassers and anything and everything. So the service that you and I will provide to the world, to help them scale to the next place and then take a position in this company. I mean, I'm so excited to be able to think about that we would take a 20 or 30% position in a company that's maybe doing 20 million. We take them to $1 billion.
That's right.
Give them 80% of the 970.
That's right.
We carve out, right? We carve out what, 20 or 30 for ourselves, pick up, what is that, 180?
Well, if it was $1 billion value, right, then we'd get 200 million, they'd get 800 million.
That's right.
So the deal is, though, that is what we can bring to them.
Yeah.
And they have a vested partner versus what the private equity guys are going to say, you need to do that in 3 to 5 years. And if you don't, we're going to cram down and crush your equity and we're going to put we're going to sell it off to somebody else. And I think business owners don't know that there isn't any other choices.
Well, this is what Daymond John says. Most people give up shares too soon in a company.
That's right.
And what interests me about that the most, though, is that, if I do that for somebody, they're in alliance with me forever.
That's right.
And that's really the payoff for me now. Like that I could have friends all over the world. I could have friends in Nigeria or Laos or Taiwan. Or when you give people money, when people score with you, me and you win a lottery ticket together, dude.
Yeah.
We're friends forever.
Yeah.
Until we fight over it.
Yeah.
And when people score together, when people win together, they typically stay together. And that's why, like, Natalie's so awesome because, if you were a winner before Natalie, oh my God, dude.
I agree with that.
It's triple crown time.
Honestly, that's what attracted. We actually made the intention statement of saying, who do we want to find that is an example of that? And she found Elena and introduced. I found it. She was so excited one day.
Yeah.
I found it. We've been looking at Gary Vee, and Tony and his wife have a good relationship, and they work together. But it just wasn't. Something wasn't firing for me, right? And then she goes, I found it. And I go, what? And she goes, look at this, Elena, and talking. And then all of a sudden she goes, look at Grant. I was like, well, he's a. Outside of being, a little older than I am, everything else about him seems to line up with what I'd like to be, right?
Yeah.
But everybody needs somebody to look towards.
Yeah, totally.
The people that tell me I don't need that, when I offer my time to somebody, I've had employees where I offer them for free to let me talk. It's a filtering system. Hey, I'll give you 15 minutes. You come to me with your best question. And I take a checklist to every single person that's come to me and the ones that hadn't. And I wonder why to have the ones that had not want to spend 15 minutes with someone who's done something beyond anybody they probably know. What is it that, law of curiosity, one of Maxwell's law. What is it that makes them not be curious about being able to spend 15 minutes with me? And then I look at the ones that do spend time with me, and I look at their performance, and then it's an obvious decision who I'm going to lean into and spend my time with, right?
Yeah.
What filters do you have?
You mean that
what are your natural filters when you start listening and watching people?
I mean, my one and only filter is probably production. Like just give me, get me some kill.
Yeah.
This is where I lose audiences. I hate this dude, man. This guy, Dude, I just want to kill, man. Like
you want to see somebody that gets
I want to move the stat,
done.
man.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want. You don't tell me anything. Don't tell me how much you studied. I know a lot of studiers. I know people that have read more books than me. You got to do something. Like the thing I value in myself is what I did. Yeah. So I get a piece of data. I get any single piece of data. I'm doing something with it so fast. Like it is like light speed. We got contracts right now with a thing that we're going to be doing here in the United States. I'm like, let's sign the thing, go on. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, but this and that. What this and that don't matter if we don't do anything.
Yeah.
I would rather find out we did something, went too fast, made a mistake, go clean it up, than not do something. And so everybody's trying to protect and slow down, as opposed to doing. So I don't need the whole this can backfire on you, by the way.
Sure. Yeah.
I read the Blackjack book.
Yeah.
And there's chapter 7 talks about, it's the book everybody reads on blackjack, how to play how to win at blackjack. And there's one betting method there that says, look, you lose this bet, you double down. Okay, you lost $10, you double down to 20. You lose 20, you double down to 40. You lose that, you double down to 80. And I'm like, shit. I closed the book. Let me go play some blackjack, man. Okay? Well, shit, I lost 7 hands in a row. So 10 was 20, 20 was 40, 40 was 80, 80 is 160. I got to make a $320 bet. The next one's 640.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring 640 with me.
Yeah, well, eventually
I forgot about 2 things. Do I even have 640? That's part of the equation. The bigger part is this. Can you bet 640? And I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now what do I do? I'm back to 20.
Yeah. Starting over.
And won the hand.
Of course.
So even the hand I won, now I'm a loser.
Yeah.
And that is business right there. And this, what we're going to do with Cardone Ventures, I know people winning in business, and it's actually operating as a loss. They're like, I won, but look what it took. I lost my family. I got a divorce. Everybody hates me. I got in a lawsuit. Like you're getting wins, and they come with losses. So with the amount of experience that you have, I mean, you have an unbelievable amount of a set of skills that I don't have, and with what we're doing and the kind of people that I can attract now, to call Damon John on the phone. Like I can get Damon on the phone anytime.
Yeah.
I can get a lot of people on the phone. Steve Harvey. Steve, hey man, can you put me in front of Procter & Gamble? So to be able to access some of those people.
Yeah.
And those guys all know people. I mean, we could do something really big with this,
I think,
and have a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and I'm a passionate entrepreneur because I had to endure many of the things these people have had to endure, and I've worked with so many people that I've seen them come through what happens when you can help them, and it's a passion of mine. It's not something I do. It's not like, oh, I'm doing it for money. I love watching people's lives change and the people that work with them change, right? Like the culture you have here. I've come to both morning huddles, and I believe in morning huddles. It's so well orchestrated. Here's the true test, right? If I'm buying a business and doing due diligence and I walk in and I don't see orchestration, I don't see things that are happening with discipline, I start to think if it's sloppy there, it's maybe sloppy everywhere else.
Yeah.
If you come in and experience your organization from a meeting and then you come in-house and then you see people and the way they operate, it's so well orchestrated and followed with discipline and accountability that then you can pay the rewards because you can see the results. But when everyone's sloshing around, you get what you get. And most people are so focused on whatever as the owners they're doing, all the other stuff behind them is sloshing around. What you're teaching is a rhythm, a way to think about your business and run your business and make other people's success easy. And then you can hold them accountable and you can reward them for results. And most people don't think of their businesses that way.
Yeah.
But here, this is I feel like I've got a really good culture at home. The discipline here, the accountability, the alignment with your team, it's
Well,
you can
that's
feel.
Sherry. That's Sherry. That's definitely not me.
Yeah, but
Sherry and Kayla. It's not me. It's not me because I'm just a maniac. So like I'm like the storm that moves through the Midwest, the tornado that moves through, and then Sherry comes in and says, "Let's clean up." You know, and she just trusts me. She trusts me that, like, she trusts me probably more than Elena does, to be honest. Like, Elena's, see, every person in a company or group or whatever, they have their hats they have to wear. So Elena, unfortunately, is what's the word? She's disabled by, she's got my name too. Yeah. So it's us. So I do something that looks stupid, kind of makes her look stupid.
Yeah.
Sherry is, she knows I'm going to do something stupid because you can't do at the speed at which I move and not screw something up. That's what she signed up for. Like, she is the cleaner. So she comes in and she's like, okay, he created a mess here. She has never, now she's been with me 8 years. Sherry has never, ever, ever said, you shouldn't do that anymore. She'll go remove it from Instagram. I'll be like, hey, where'd that go? Where'd that picture? Josh Brolin did it. She's like, Grant, you can't sit naked in a chair. I'm like, Josh Brolin did it. Yeah, I got it. We just took it down. She didn't even have a conversation with me about it. I'm like, dang, I look better than Josh. So I got a bunch of followers with that one. But she has never, we don't even have the discussion about it. Like, she never bothers me with problems, situations. And sometimes when you're building an organization out, like I have a finance person that came to me one day and they said, there was a fire in one of the buildings. I'm like, yeah, well, why are you telling me? I said, dude, that's below my pay grade. Sherry would never tell me about a fire.
Yeah.
Never. She would never tell me. Like, there was some people came over here one day and got arrested, and Sherry didn't tell me about it. Why would I want to know that?
That's right.
I wasn't here, can't do anything about it, can't clean it up. So Sherry is that person that, like, and these companies that we're going to be working with, they don't have that. They don't have a Sherry. So what they're doing is I'm trying to go out and win a war and be the mayor and run for re-election. You can't do all that. That's why Donald Trump won. Donald Trump had one thing to do, and that's it. One thing and one thing only, and it was not to please the other side. So you can't be the mayor, the president, the hot husband, changing bike diapers, and think that you can do all that stuff and be the full you. So Sherry, these organizations aren't actually able to, like, really blossom into their full capability because they're being engineer, receptionist, political guy.
And they don't have the awareness like you do of that's okay to relinquish that control to somebody so I can be faster.
They don't have the payroll. They don't have the money, and they don't have the belief that you talk about a lot, that I can afford that.
That's right.
Because of the way so many of us are brought up to believe if I pay Kayla $60,000 a year, that's $60,000 I don't have. If I pay anybody anything, that I could have kept that money. Yeah, you could have, but you know, everybody needs.
And a lot of people try to control everything too tight. They strangle because if you attract somebody good into your system that could contribute that way, but you hold so tight, they'll go somewhere where they can do it. They just don't want to work in that kind of environment if they're that skilled. Yeah. And I think finding that person, harnessing them.
I mean, I think we could like I'm a pretty micromanaged person. Yeah. But I have people that they let me micromanage and then move on. Like they don't get, Sherry and Jared don't get upset because I'm like, no, guys, we got to do it like this. I could be wrong, by the way. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, we need to do this and we need to do this and this is the way it's going to work. And they're like, yeah, got it, with you, because they know I'm the guy running the ship. They're like, we're going into the rocks. Let's roll. Yep. And then once we hit the rocks, nobody says, "Told you so, Grant." Yeah. I'm a smart guy, dude. I know I wrecked the boat. Yeah. I know how I've crashed everything. I need everybody now not to spend any time in make wrong, repair the boat, and let's go back out to sea.
Let's keep going.
Because what is a good trip out to sea without
a little bit of drama?
A lot of drama, dude. You got to have action.
Yeah, that's right.
We need action, man.
That's right.
I told Elena once, I said, Elena, I'll never leave you. Like, you could do anything. You could cheat on me. I'm not going to leave you. Like, and by the way, if you did cheat on me, shame on me.
Yeah.
That's got something to do with me. I lose a customer to somebody else, that shame on me that I lost a customer.
Yeah.
Same thing in a marriage, same thing, you know. I think with my employees, I lose somebody here, shame on me that I'm going to chase somebody because I didn't have enough opportunity here that a super talented person who maybe outlives that ring wouldn't have another ring to go to. Another fight to have. Mayweather, I don't know why I got Mayweather on my mind right now.
I don't know.
I want to
You
make friends with this dude.
My jeweler is his guy. He goes at his house every weekend. He invites
got
me
a lot
all
of
the time.
jewelers.
Do you want to go? No, my guy is his guy.
Yeah.
Do you want to go when we're in LA?
I
We'll
met
go
him.
meet him.
Yeah.
We'll go over to his house.
I want to do business with him. So I met him in the FBO in Vegas. I was flying out. He was in a restaurant. He's in a little restaurant. There's nobody in there. It's a little executive signature. And you walk in a place like this, and he's got his back to the wall, and he's looking out to the front door, and he's on the phone. Da, da, da. He's the only person in there. And me and another dude, I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to Mayweather right now. He's like, man, you think so? Dude, he wants to talk to me. He's like, well, how do you know that? He's facing the door. Okay, he wasn't like this, hiding with a hoodie on. He's like this. He's only a little dude. Like I thought I was a giant around him, right? He's a little dude. And I walk up, hey, and he's like, I'm on the phone. I said, dude, I know you're on the phone. Put the guy on hold. Okay, put the guy on hold. Dude, I got my 10X hat. I learned so much from this guy in 3 minutes. I said, dude, how about my 10X hat? He's like, man, I can't wear your hat, man. I can't wear that. I could put in my trophy, but I can't wear the hat. I said, good, keep it. I thought about taking it back, actually. So shit, if you ain't gonna wear it, let me have it back, right? And then I got on my plane, and I'm thinking, oh, he can't wear it because of TMT. I didn't understand. It was so stupid to me. Dude, why is he going to wear 10X when he's got TMT to promote? And so, anyway, I've always been, interested in this little dude that's 50-0, and he is a marketing genius. Like when I see a 50 Cent bang on him every day, Mayweather can't talk. Mayweather can't. He never responds. I mean, the only response he does is this: look at my money. Look at my 27 watches. This one I paid $18 million for. He never takes 50 Cent on, straight on. I'm like, the guy's a marketing, I'm interested in that kind of talent.
Here, let's do this right here. We'll do it right here, right now.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Say, Floyd, hey, man.
So we'll shoot a little Peter Marco. Let's see, you're better at this than I am.
I'm one of the best.
I know you are. I can't even hold my phone with the right hand. So we'll do it like this. Hey, Peter. Peter Marco.
You got hands free on that, too.
I don't know.
Hey, Floyd, Grant Cardone here, buddy. Okay, I gave you my 10X hat, I don't know, about 3 years ago over at Signature. Dude, I want to meet you. I want to interview you. I'm a huge admirer of yours, okay? Particularly not because you're a fighter, but how you market yourself in the marketplace. Massive admiration from the 10X man to the Mayweather.
Hey, Peter Marco. You need to arrange that the next time we're in LA so my business partner here, Grant Cardone, can spend a little time with your guy. We look forward to seeing you guys. Bye.
Yeah, I want to tell you how much I really, really appreciate you and what works. You know, when I see you, I see what works, right? So I did this conference. I don't know you. I don't know Natalie. You hadn't reached out to us or anything, right? 34,000 people there. You guys bought $30,000 worth of seats. You guys were like, oh, yeah, if I had 30 grand, I'd do it too. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Because if you would, you would have.
Yep. Those seats were available when I bought them.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you've never done it, then you wouldn't do it, or at least you haven't done it. So don't say, oh, the rich people, yeah, if I had that much money, I would do it. No, you're not doing it. Okay, and his 30 grand might be your 3 grand. It might be your 300. But here they are, best seats in the house. They sat there the whole time. They got there early. They stayed late. And this guy's in the room. He's not thinking about his 30 grand. He's thinking about, hey, what's going on in this place? Yep. How did this guy fill this joint? Admiration, not envy. So many people got this envy thing going on. Like, you know, so many people won't flow power to a guy like me that's doing these kind of things saying, I can't do that. He didn't ask me to speak. Yep. I can't go buy a ticket. Dude, I only do business with people that support my events.
Yep.
Like, so that when you guys came, I like those people. Number one, I knew you were there. That goes back to what I'm always saying. If I don't know you, it's impossible for us to ever, like,
Yeah, you walked out. I was looking for Natalie, I think, on the second date. And I thought she was in the VIP, and I had my head down trying to look at my phone to text her, and all of a sudden...
You were talking to Hector? Hector's like, get your head up.
All of a sudden, somebody grabbed me, and I was like, what the hell? And you look at you go, I appreciate you being here. And we're like, that was Grant Cardone, and then you blew by.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where's he going? And you had your security team, and you're plowing through the crowd, and it's like watching a swarm of birds. Everyone's moving, and all of a sudden I see it stop. And the reason I saw where Natalie was is because it took a right turn, and you walked up to Natalie, and you gave her a hug, said, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And then you disengaged. And I was like, oh, there's Natalie. Oh, he just, but
Yeah.
we're in two different areas.
Yeah.
And I walked up to her, she goes, did you see that? And I go, he just did the same thing to me. Now, it was just a second, but it was enough to say, you recognize we were there. And for the people who didn't spend $30,000, by the way, I bought those tickets because she and I made a commitment. I surprised her with it. I said, this is your Christmas present. We're going together because we want to do this together.
That's awesome.
And she was like, this is the best Christmas present. She told me, don't buy me anything else. I just want those tickets. And every time he'd send us something in the mail, like every single day.
Every 15 minutes.
we take pictures. We get out. We're excited to go do this together.
Yeah.
But here's what I would say. For those people that don't want to spend the $30,000, they don't have to. I ran into a kid who met me when I was walking around, who saw me up there. And he DM'd me when we got back, and I've been coaching this kid and talking to him, and that's his goal, is to get up there one day. And the thing is that if somebody isn't brave enough to make that extension and do it right, there's the right way to try to meet someone, and there is the wrong way to try to meet someone. And someone who's doing it the wrong way, that's that first T, that transactional way, pushes you away, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I would say any way is better than no way. I would rather see people do it the wrong way and
to not try it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, because they'll learn if they keep doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, most people do it the wrong way, by the way. So
yeah.
I don't know, maybe you did it the right way the first time.
No. You got to learn from it. You got to understand why you did or didn't succeed.
Look, the first 20, all I did from 25 to 45 was try to sell everybody I met something. Like, it turned a lot of people off. Turned me off.
Yeah.
I turn myself off sometimes. But I never turn myself off. Like, I'm still going to try to sell something because I needed money that month.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time I've needed money. Now, when you start maturing and you start getting a little, oh, wow, I get a little more room and I open up the pipeline, oh, I don't have to pound you out. There's going to be another person there, right? So that's why our little, us not coming to our final thing here, I'm not too concerned about it because I think we'll finally come to something that works for everybody. But you guys were sitting in the right place. You were like, hey, we're here, Then you followed it up. That wasn't enough. You were at the fourth and fifth day.
Yep.
The compliment, the genuine compliment that you gave me the fourth day was probably one of the nicest things I heard out of the whole conference, which was like, you remember what you said to me?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I was very impressed.
Yeah, like I did.
I mean, emotionally impressed
helped.
with how committed you were.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard doing an event is. I know
a three-day
event, especially of that magnitude. I don't know that, but I know a small version of that.
Yeah.
And then you were just so on for those 2 days, and you were like
the fourth and fifth.
The fourth and fifth, but it was the way you engaged people that impressed me.
Yeah.
Like at the heart, people can view you however they want to view you, but when you're actually there and you get a prolonged period of time to see how intentful you are, how aggressive you are, how results driven you are, but then that ability to pause and actually connect with people because you care. Like you want them, you want people to win, and your mission is to help them win. And you're saying, look, draft behind me, get behind me, and let's put our heads down. And then we wake up and realize, holy crap, my whole life's changed. Then you get to smile and high five, but then you're on to the next one because you're not going to slow down. You're like, you can disengage if you want now, but I'm going to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know where that drive, that ultimate.
Well, and that's what I don't know either, but I know it's a good thing, and I think everybody has it, right? So, and then when you guys left the fourth and fifth day, and you put some money in with me.
Yeah. Not yet. I didn't. I told you I was going to. I mean, I told you when I left. I said I trust you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then we met. Yeah. Then we went to Cabo. I think I went off to skiing.
I was thinking about it, talking to Ryan. We watched that you went skiing, and then Ryan and I were texting.
And then we got a call from Natalie. Natalie called Ryan and said, "Hey, look, me and Brandon, it looks like a relationship, but Brandon's really got a crush on Grant, and Brandon's been breakingdown.com since the event, and guys, would you guys feel bad if he flew into Cabo? We flew into Cabo, and you know,
Rented a house and acted like it was ours.
next door to you and spoongrant.com. So we did. They showed up in Cabo, right? Hey guys, y'all brought us out to places.
Yeah.
So that was cool, right? I'm saying all that because, like, guys, if you want to get connected, it takes money to do it. I mean, that's what I learned from that whole lesson.
It takes intentionality. We were literally sitting there going, why are we here when they're there and we have a place there? And I tried to get a flight. 5 airports, couldn't get a flight. So I called my charters, jet charter. They said, sorry, it's President's Weekend.
Yeah.
I started down the list calling everyone I knew until I found somebody that had a jet. And I said, I want it to leave right now. And they said, well, dude, they came back. How about in 3 hours? I said, we're on it. I don't care what it costs. Because getting down there and spending time with you guys was more important because I know that you're on the go. And we had a place there. It was like,
this is the crazy thing people tell me all the time. Hey, dude, like when you're in Chicago, come see me. Like, that's not how the world works. No. You have to go to it.
That's how the world works for lazy people or non-intentional.
That's how the world does not work.
No, that's how they think. Like, you got to bring it to me.
Like, hey, if I would work for you, Grant, if you were in San Fernando, La Bajina. Okay, well, good. You know, maybe we'd have coffee too. So, but you guys went there, right? You went there. We hung out. You took us to dinner. I mean, just awesome. So, guys, buy it. Like he calls it. What do you call it? Some of that big word. Intentionality. I call it this. Pay to play, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, and be a genuine person. Be a legit person. You can't just buy it and be a crud.
Yeah. Well, we knew that you're not gonna look. Your inner circle is tight, and you've got a lot of people, and we just said be ourselves, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we can shake and be friends, and I'll still invest because I wanted. By that time, I'd made the decision. It makes sense to invest. Which, in full disclosure, I invested quite a bit of money, and I mean,
if $1 million is a lot of money.
Well, relative to.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say it. I just didn't want to make anybody else feel like that. Every investor, listen to what I know.
Yeah.
If you only put $10,000 in, or you put $10 million in, you're going to treat them all the same.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That I know
for sure. And the 10,000 should be on your way to $1 million, and the $1 million should be on their way to 10 million. You want to reinforce any investment you make. Otherwise, it's just you're gambling. So don't learn from that blackjack rule. You don't keep doubling up in bad deals. If you're losing hands, step away. Step away from the table. They can't tell you that in the book because if they told you that in the book, they wouldn't put the book at the casino. I got the book at the casino. Okay? Look, make a bet. Don't make a bet that you're not willing to reinforce a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, and know that you can win one day. That's why I will do business with this guy. And if it doesn't work out, I would definitely blow up his website, BrandonBreaksDownAgain.com, in public.
Well, listen.
And embarrasses Natalie with tears on his lapel jacket.com.
I know you probably have to go, drink some muscle milk or something here in a minute because you have every half hour.
At least I got muscles. To milk.
I'm gonna work you another day on how.
I'd love to hear your comments about Brandon. Should Brandon get in better shape? Should Brandon start working out? Should you want to stand up and just show him show turn sideways now because the black is kind of hiding everything. There it is. So everybody, how old are you?
50.
50. So look, now's the time, dude, because the joints will start hurting. Like you don't even have a choice in the deal.
No, I believe it. I believe it.
No, but you don't believe it yet.
No, I sent my blood off to your guy. I believe it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to believe it until the pain hits.
Oh, you're saying
the joints hurt.
Experience it.
The shoulders start hurting. Like, start taking care of yourself right now. That old saying about if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
Before you lose it, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to start hurting, and then you lose the ability to use it. So use it now. I didn't know that. I've always been able to stay in fairly good shape my whole life, just metabolically. Is that a word?
Yeah, I don't know.
Got to check with him. So I've always had a pretty high metab, so a lot of energy, right? So I can eat almost anything I want. But at some point, it's not about how good you look; it's how good you feel.
Yeah.
If you can't take care of your unit, you got to. How's he going to go take care of $1 billion business?
Why only $1 billion?
If he can't take care of 12 pounds.
That's true.
Dude, you can't manage 12 pounds and a couple of biceps. Come on. How you going to take care of them?
This is the grind right here.
The grind, baby.
Guy just grinds
And
grinds
that's why people love
grinds.
me, and that's why people hate me right there. People love me because I love you enough to grind you out and tell you the
That's right.
truth.
That's true.
Without any big words. It's what I told Maxwell. I said, you be their friend, I'm going to be their uncle. Okay? Because an uncle will not treat you like a friend. A good uncle.
Yeah.
My uncle Vincent, who I never talk about much, but my Uncle Vincent is the guy that, he never came to my aid, but he always believed in me.
Yeah.
And when my dad died, I kept waiting for one of these uncles to show up. I really wanted my Uncle John to show up because he was the patriarch kind of, symbol in our. There was Uncle John, Uncle Paul, Uncle Vincent, okay? And you could tell in the pecking order. It was really my dad, Uncle John. My dad's gone, so Uncle John fills this space. He was the guy, the most revered. He never showed up. I still think I'm resentful toward that son of a bitch. just kidding, Jay. And then there was Uncle Vincent, and Uncle Vincent was like, he was a bus driver. He's dealing cards on the weekends, picking up money like that, saving all his money. It's non-taxable money sitting in the backyard.
Yeah.
Who knows what he put together, right? But he was a cool dude.
Yeah.
But I was in the unemployment line at 23 years old. And I'd been there 30 or 40 minutes. I was so disgusted with myself, man. I was using drugs every day and in the unemployment line. I'm not even sure which one's worse. Like, waiting on your drug dealer is one thing. Waiting on the government for a check, oh my God, humiliating.
Yeah.
And my uncle's like, he must have gone in there to cash a check or something. It was a little small office, so a lot of different stuff happened there. And he's like, hey, what are you doing, son? He didn't know which one I was. I have a twin brother named Gary. He said, which one are you? What you doing here?
Why are you here?
I'm like, I'm getting my unemployment check. And he's like, you didn't go to college to stand in the unemployment line, man. I said, yeah, but Uncle, I can't get a job. He's like, I'll get you a job tonight. You want to sell cars? I said, shit, I ain't selling cars, man. I'm not going to sell cars, man. I just got a college degree in accounting. And he's like, wait a minute. You'll stand in the unemployment line, but you won't sell cars. I said, yeah, I ain't selling cars, man. I didn't go to college for 5 years, Uncle, to sell Toyotas. He's like, dude, you didn't go to college for 5 years to stand in this line either. Get out the damn line. Come with me. I'm going to get you a job. Brought me to a car dealer that afternoon. Put me in front of the old man. Guy's name was Rip Collins. Rip, car dealer, Rip Collins. Hey, how you doing? Rip. And Rip said, hey, how you know you can sell cars? I said, I don't know that I can sell them. My uncle thinks I can sell it. And he's like, what you been doing? I said, I just went to college. He's like, college ain't going to help you here, son. And I started selling cars the next day, man. And my Uncle Vincent, he's the one that was nice enough. He wasn't my friend that day.
Yeah.
He was the guy that said, you ain't doing this, dude. And he directed me. He was more of a mentor, a guy to like, no, you're going here. He put me to the next place. He didn't teach me anything, didn't tell me anything, didn't instruct me. He wasn't a mentor. He's just like, no, you're going here. So hopefully I can be like that guy to more people to say, no, you need to go see Brandon because your business sucks.
Yeah.
And you've been making $3 million a year for too many years.
Yeah.
If you make $3 million a year for too many years in a row, you're going to go to zero. You're not going up, okay? Don't kid yourself. You make $3 million. You agree with this?
Yeah.
You make $3 million for 3 or 4 or 5 years at a time, it will go down. It will go to 300 grand before it goes to 30 million.
Well, and eventually you'll wear out. So it's if you don't.
You'll hate your business. You'll hate yourself.
Yeah.
You'll hate everything.
And that's where the tension. Work with a lot of family.
If
businesses.
the industry even exists, because
That's right.
sooner or
Everything
later the
changes.
industry is going to disrupt.
A lot of Hollywood video guys and blockbuster video guys that are gone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know that we've spent quite a bit of time. We
Anything
haven't
for
talked
you,
about
man?
Elena yet.
Yeah. What about her?
She's
What a freeloader.
You are.
What a freeloader
Outside-
chick that
you know, I
is,
can't-
huh? What a
I've
lucky
got
gold
Natalie.
digging. What a lucky gold digging. What else can I say about Elena?
and the freeloading
Just-
kids.
And the kids. The kids are just more just extensions of her.
What % better are you together than you would have been alone?
Well,
Is it
number
10x or is it 1,000,000x?
Well, I don't think it's measurable because like I was so unhappy without her. So,
Yeah.
you know, number one, I was just unhappy without her. Like I'm like, damn, dude. If you're going to be a super successful person, I was watching Billions, the third season, and they're divorcing the third season, and he goes and they have this big victory, and there's all these chicks all over the place. I mean, he's worth billions of dollars, so you know he's divorced now.
Yep.
He walks in a room and nothing but freaking talent in the room.
Everywhere.
I mean, it's like,
We saw that series. Yeah.
and he walks in, he gets in the jacuzzi. There's 3 chicks there, and you could tell he was so sad,
Yeah.
so empty.
Yeah.
And that's where I was, dude. I mean, I didn't have that scene and all that.
Yeah.
But it was still miserable, dude. Like, I was miserable. And it's interesting how the intentionality, I think is what you call it.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you a story real quick. I was, I don't know, 8 years old. And my dad was still alive. My dad, my older brother, my twin brother, and my grandfather went and saw James Bond, Goldfinger.
Yeah.
We go into this little theater. This is 50 years ago, dude. 50 years
Wow.
ago. 53 years ago.
Wow.
53 years. Do you know what theaters looked like 53 years ago? We go in the theater. I'm 8 years old, man. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is awesome, right? Probably black and white. Might have been black and white Goldfinger.
I wasn't live then. I was 68.
Okay.
I don't even know, did they have color in 68?
I don't know.
At some point they.
I know this, dude. This was one of those big moments in my life because my grandfather was a gambler. He didn't have papers to live in the United States. He either had nothing in his pocket or he had a freaking roll. There was nothing in between. He never had a checking account in his whole life. He didn't have papers to register an account.
Yeah.
Okay. So he came on the boat. He was born on the boat from Sicily. They hit him with papers, WOP. That's what WAP stands for, without papers. So Italians were all called WAPs.
WAPs, yeah.
And Dagos and these, illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Build a wall. So anyway, my grandpa was selling alcohol, bootlegging, like that was back in the day, right?
Yeah.
We're in there, James Bond, the hot chick comes up, I'm 8 years old, man. I'm 8 years old, pitch black in this place, right? My dad's over here. My uncle, my grandpa's on the aisle, okay? Middle of the show, man. All these hot chicks, the beaches, James Bond. He drinks. He crashes cars. He loses money at the roulette wheel. Dude, I'm collecting all this data.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the guy I want to be. I want to be that guy right there. 8 years old, man. I'm making all these decisions. Intentionality. I look over my grandpa. I'm seeing if everybody's digging this show as much as I am, right? And I'm making all these life decisions. And I look over there at my grandpa in the middle of the show. He don't care about the bikinis. He don't care about James Bond. He don't care about the Aston Martin. He's doing this, counting his money. He's just counting a wad. I mean, it's a roll. So I'm literally calculating all this data. I need a roll. I need an Aston Martin.
Yeah,
I need freedom. I don't ever want to be married. I want to travel the world. And by the time I was 45, dude, I had almost created that. I didn't really have the money, didn't have the Aston Martin, and I was empty.
Yeah.
And so I had created this persona of like, I want this. And then so Elena, she's filled up that. And I tried to get it's not all women can't fill that hole in me. I was looking for the right partner. I know the whole psychological, all the books out there, the Mars and Venus bullshit. You're trying to fill a hole. No, dude, I was legitimately looking for the right partner for me. Yeah. And she did not complete me or fill a hole, but she is the right partner for me to experience life with and have kids with.
Well, your story with her is
and she helps me think a lot bigger too.
Yeah, that's right. And your story with her is the absolute definition of intentionality because you focused on what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you
and I was
at
willing to
all
give
cost.
Yeah.
Were willing to go
and with that, with the intentionality, before I found her, I had to give some stuff up. I sold my house in La Jolla. That was the opium den.
Yeah.
It was not drug wise, but it was a Playboy spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, if you want to find that chick, you got to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And so I had to sell that house. I love that place. And I think a lot of people think I'm just going to do the law of attraction thing. And that's my intention. I'm going to get it. You got to give something up. I have never gotten anything. I've never gotten an advancement in life without taking something out of my trunk. I have to give something up. And so for many times for me, it's been actually a geographical move. Like I moved from San Diego. Nobody, I'll bet you I'm the only human being in the history of planet Earth who moved from La Jolla to LA. People normally go from LA down to La Jolla and move down there because LA's it's a pit.
Yeah.
And I moved into, literally sold everything. Moved up there, lived in a hotel for 9 months. I was going out, last story, I was going out on a Thursday night. I'd been prospecting Atlanta for like 26 phone calls and 13 months, and I was going out with this little hot chick, smoker, okay? And I'm going, it's Thursday night. No, Friday night I had the date with her. Okay, Thursday, Elena agreed to go out with me. I happened to run into her. I was going out someplace. She was coming in. And I said, look, I'm going to go shooting Sunday, buddy. You want to come? She's like, yeah, I'll go. It's the first time she ever said yes to me. Okay, I literally called the chick for Friday night. We'll call her Parliament. Okay, and I called her. I said, hey, Parliament, I can't do tomorrow night. She's like, why, what's up? I said, I'm going out with the woman I'm going to marry. And I told her the truth, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out with the woman I'm going to marry. I don't want to waste your time. And that was the last time I saw that chick. So, and a year later, Elena and I will be married. So.
Those are great,
So, you got a lot out of me, man, without crying, too, by the way. A little
you teared up a little bit.
No, you did. You teared up.
No, you teared up. You were the one. When you start talking about your mom, your eyes got all glossy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
What do you want to know?
Yeah. No, well, last thing before we go, okay?
Yeah.
So, your dad, he's living with you now.
He is.
How old's your dad?
75.
Dude, what's it like to have a dad?
That's a good question. It's really a good question.
Because I don't know. I haven't had a dad in 50 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a gentle giant.
Yeah.
He gave his whole life to helping people at the church, helping people. 40 years with my stepmom.
Wow.
And he just checked her into that home, and he's all by himself in the guest house.
Yeah.
And
I you called him today, right?
I did. I call him. I've been calling him every day. He locked himself out of the guest house and had to sit up at my house all day because he couldn't find the key.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? I'm really fortunate because my catalyst was my grandfather, and he was a commander of the Oregon State Police. And if there was one person that I did not want to look at me and say, "What are you doing?" it was him. And everyone in my family, his own kids included, were always afraid of him because he was so strong. And having my dad love me, having my grandpa, I was one of the few people that he really put that kind of energy into.
Yeah.
But then my dad was sweet. He was always sweet to his boys, but he was hard. My dad was one of these guys that these are the boundaries. The last time he spanked me, I was 15 years old, and I laughed because it didn't hurt anymore, dude. I've been doing martial arts for 4 years. I've been doing football. Like, that did not hurt. He said, okay. So he lowered it down to my calves.
Yeah.
Dude, that hurt.
Yeah.
It was the last time he cried for having to hit me that hard.
Wow.
But I learned a lot from him, right? Beautiful man. My mom's a wonderful lady, and I had a phenomenal stepdad, and I had a phenomenal stepmom. They all provided different things to me, and I'm very fortunate to have taken a little piece from each of them and take it and own it as my own.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, your dad, how old are you?
50.
Yeah. I mean, you're just keep in mind, like, my dad I've been without a dad.
Yeah.
The same number of years you've been alive. So the fact that you're able to call him,
dude, look,
that is awesome, bro.
I'm grateful. I am.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you.
Grateful. When you do, he's a beautiful man, and I'm sorry you didn't get that.
Yeah.
But I saw my dad go through a lot of things, and I respect him immensely, and I love him enormously. And he's been always very supportive of me. Yeah. And I'm mostly happy that I'm in a position where I get to help them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to help a lot more people too, so.
I love the opportunity.
Dude, appreciate it.
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Brandon Dawson and Grant Cardone at the B. Dawson Show. And Grant, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.